Hi guys, come on in. Welcome to book club number 33. Hi guys. Tell me where you're signing in from. So, we're doing a book club on a radical awakening, and it's not really chapter by chapter. If you do want chapter by chapter, I do a course, a 10-day course called A Radical Awakening that really goes deep into the book. And all my courses are 50% off. So if you want the course that goes with the book, grab it now. All my courses are 50% off. Go to my website, go to courses. I have courses on intimacy, anger, dads, kids under 6, teenagers, my signature meditation courses. My most powerful course that people have commented on is the Awakened Heart course. That is 52 hours, Year of Manifestation, 52 hours. And if you want the Radical Awakening course, it was a 12 to 15 hour course. I did it over 10 days. It's recorded. It's yours for life. And if you really want to go deep and read the book and do the course, you go really, really, really deep. And all my courses are at a huge discount, 50% off. I do it twice a year. Do it. Go to drshefali.com, go to courses, use the code SAVE50 at checkout. So Barefoot Susie, you say this book. What about this book, Susie? Tell me. If you've read the book, give me your comments, give me your feedback. Tell me how it has impacted you, how it has helped you in any way. You know, books are not meant to be resonating with you every page. So if you got even one golden nugget from the book, oh, Rosina from Ghana, you got the book in Ghana? That's awesome. Best book ever, loving it. Yes, tell me how you felt about the book here. Leave a review on Amazon, tell your friends about it. But understand that every page can't match everybody, you know? So it's about understanding yourself. And Lazetika says, Dr. Shefali, you have shaken my world. Thank you. Tanya, I think that's a good thing. Tanya, Rachel, the book is amazing and deeply profound. Thank you. Iaduna says the book has opened my eyes. Love the book and your book clubs. I'm loving finding my nothing. Wonderful. I'm on the man-woman chapter, very strong, especially how men are biologically set up. Okay, guys. On the way to Istanbul. Your book has changed my mindset to the point I want to speak my truth. Wonderful. Okay, guys. Thank you. So, yeah, the book is not going to match you every minute, every page. It is about understanding overall what's happening to your friends, to your mom, to your dad. It's not about you. You know, the whole book is not about you. It's about you understanding other people as well in your life. You having compassion for other people. Yes? Hello? Is this book just for you? You're like, what about me? Me. No. It's not just about you. It's about other women and other women's experiences. And that's why I compile so many stories from my clients there, and I give you examples from my life, this one's life, that one's life, because I want you to also develop compassion. Somebody asked, how do you hear all this great feedback while still remaining egoless? Because first and foremost, I don't only get great feedback, I get real punchy feedback too, okay? Like, this book is dumb, it's so stupid, so boring. So don't think that I only get positive feedback, number one. Number two, it's not about me, it's about you. So if the book resonates with you, it's not about me, It's that something stirred within you that I just happened to be the instrument of the echoing chamber. I was just the echoing chamber that I provided the space, but you entered it. So I'm just the instrument to awaken you. So this book is not just about you, yes? You're like, oh, this doesn't match me. That's what my negative feedback people were like, oh, this doesn't match with my belief systems. This doesn't talk to me. And I'm so amazing and important and the singular person in this universe, so dump the book. There is no way this book is going to speak to you on every page. It is about universal themes that I have seen over time, over cultures. Many people think that this book may be something specific to Dr. Shefali. It is in small ways, but let me tell you, I wouldn't have dared write a book if it was just about me. I can write in my journal, I'm not an autobiographical, self-absorbed person. Not that autobiographies are self-absorbed, but I would never write a book just about me. It's just impossible. Like, my life is not that great or interesting. It's about universal themes that I've observed over and over again. Only then would I have the guts to write with any declarative authority, right? It's only after a lot of patterns, to the point where if a client comes to me now, I can tell you their pattern within 25, 30 minutes. So it's years of experience over decades. I first started my master's degree when I was 21 and a half. I went for my first Vipassana meditation experience when I was 21 and a half, right as soon as I came to America. So I've been doing this for a long time. So this book is not just for you, okay? It's for your aunt, for your friend, for the waitress, for the actress. It's for everybody, for you to understand that, it's not about you, don't worry. Good for you, yippee-yay. It didn't happen to you, but it happens to other women. If you're not feeling pressure of the beauty paradigm, great for you, but most women do. If you haven't been suppressed in this cultural patriarchy because you haven't put yourself out there perhaps, or because it just didn't happen to you in your family, good for you, right? But ask any woman in corporate America if she's not been suppressed. Okay, it happens to every woman who is trying to get out there. Okay, so just because it doesn't happen to you doesn't mean it doesn't happen. And this is narcissism on our part whenever we read any book or we learn about any teachings, is to go, oh, doesn't apply to me, bye. No, try to be open to see, of course you don't have to, but try to be open to see how it relates to other people, how it relates to men. I've talked about men in this book. I've talked about different cultures in this book. I've talked about different families, different clients. So this is about having compassion for other human experiences. This is to wake you up to what's out there. This is not just for the elite and the privileged and the fancy and the schmancy. This is really for you to understand, damn, and then I put myself out there for you to go, damn, right? If she was suppressed or if she was not connected to her knowing, what hope is there for us? No, I'm just kidding. So she's also going through something. So not to judge me, it's to have compassion for the human condition, right? That's why I write and throw myself out there. It's not for you to judge me or judge others. It's to go, wow, but it also is not just about me or about you. It's about our global sisterhood and how we as humans experience so much, right? So remember that this book should leave you with great insight about yourself, or some insight about yourself, some insight about women in general, some insight about men, some insight about our effed up culture, and therefore, because you have insight, you have compassion, okay? You have compassion. You have surrender. You have release. You have expansiveness. You're like, I get it. I was not awake. She's not awake. They're not awake. Right? I'm not speaking from the pulpit. I hope I don't appear to speak from the pulpit. Maybe just a little, because I'm the author, but not because I'm grand or in any way better. None of us are better, let me tell you. Everyone is having a story that they have to combat. Somebody writes, what if everyone is not as strong as you? Yeah, I get it. And it's not because I grew up with some inherent muscle that is strong. It's something that I've had to cultivate. So of course, there are going to be people not as strong because they have to cultivate it. It's like me looking at a weight, those weight building, whatever they're called, championship competitions, and looking at all those iron, rock hard bodies and upset that they are stronger than me. Yeah, they're stronger than me because they've been working out 6 hours a day. So if you work out on your emotional stamina and emotional muscle 6 hours a day, you will be stronger than Dr. Shefali. Okay, it's not magic. I'm not special. I've just been doing this for 25 years and teaching it for 25 years. But if you do it, so do you want it, right? It's whether you want it, whether you desire it, and you desire it enough that you will go get it, right? That's what you need to ask, right? That's the real comparison. It's not always Dr. Shefali stronger than me, is how many hours has she put into this shit? And am I willing to do that, right? We're not willing to do that. Playing with my rubber band. Okay, so every day we try to put out a theme around a cluster of ideas, and then I talk about it in my book club. We try to create some sort of narrative, but it's not all. Sometimes I just ad-lib. So today I posted stuff, if you look back on my Instagram, on hitting rock bottom, right? So I'm going to read that. I always look for rock bottom moments. Rock bottom moments are a rare opportunity for spiritual growth and awakening, and an opportunity for letting go of unnecessary emotional and physical baggage you might have been carrying for too long. The suffering this causes is always in the mind. When we hit rock bottom means that the ego defenses no longer work. We need to invite these moments because it is then that our old ways break down. Although this can cause a great amount of pain, it is the greatest portal for transformation. So I typically don't use the word change if I'm intentional. When I'm intentional, I don't use the word change. I use the word transformation. And why do I like the word transformation more than change? Is because A, we are always transforming. We are always changing. I got distracted by the question how my eyes are green. Okay, we're gonna have to ask my mother for that answer. We've always wondered, she doesn't tell. The reason why I use the word transformation instead of change is because, number one, we're always changing. Trillions of cells are dying within you and regenerating every single day. Change is a constant. Change occurs whether you like it or not. Change is always present in your life. So this whole idea of like, should I change? I know what people mean by it, but it's really an oxymoron because you're already changing. So to ask whether you should change is ironic, right? It's some sort of denial. So instead of the word change, I use the word transformation. And transformation, by the very word, has transform. So that means you translate, you transfer, you do something to the form. So unless the form changes, there is no transformation. Transformation is conscious. It's intentional. It's deliberate. It's an awake process. Change is happening whether you're awake or not. Change is happening without your intention, without your consent, without your option. You don't have a choice. You're always changing. The teenager that you were is not here today. The 25-year-old that you were is not here today. Change, not only change, dead, gone. So change is happening whether you like it or not. I'm talking about transformation. Transformation is a conscious, consenting process where you transfer the form. Something has to happen to the damn form. And by form, I mean your relationships, your body, your mind, your identity, your career. Whatever the form is, it's got to transfer, iterate, reiterate, change in a big formation way. It cannot just be an idea. Transformation is something has to happen to the form, transform. So, if you are willing to change, as we colloquially say, stop and ask, okay, I'm always changing, so what am I really talking about? Am I willing to really transform? And am I willing to do something to my form? Now, we don't do it because it's bloody painful. In a weird way. Even though your current situation is not ideal, you pretend it's ideal. You bullshit yourself. Because it's better than what you don't know. Right? The devil you know is better than the devil you don't. Or something like that. But it's not true. The devil you know is not better than the devil you don't know. The devil you know keeps you from meeting angels, to use that metaphor. The devil you know is killing you right now. Maybe the next devil is less. No, it's not true the devil you know is better than the devil you don't. That's just a way to keep you stuck. And as long as you are willing to compromise in a less than optimal situation, you are actually sacrificing yourself, and not only sacrificing yourself, you are betraying yourself. Yourself came here to be aligned with. Yourself came here to be known, to be understood, to be recognized and honored. By whom? By you. Yourself is right now betrayed. The only person that has betrayed yourself is you. Now, have people come into your life that are complete jerks and assholes? 125,000%. But that's just part of living. You live, they're going to be jerks and assholes. You're out in weather, a bird is going to poop on you. Or your car, or your shoe. You live by the ocean, you're going to have high tide and a rip tide. You live on a mountain, you could have mudslides. That's just part of living. Jerks and assholes are part of life. Okay? Let us not pretend like, oh my goodness, I'm so unique that I should not meet a jerk or an asshole. No, you're going to meet jerks and assholes. But they are not here to betray you. They're here just being jerks and assholes. The biggest act of betrayal is your own self-denial, your own self-delusion, your own self-abnegation, your own knowing that you should transform and you don't. So that is the greatest act of betrayal. That is the greatest divorce. And your inner self is in utter trauma by you. Because your inner self says, go here, and you'll ignore it. Your inner self says, red flag, red flag, red flag, red flag, not good, not good, not. Your inner self knows. But because you are so conditioned to live in fear, and you're so scared of what people will say, what people will think, who will I be, how will I be alone, I need the money, I need the this, I need the that, whatever you've decided you are attached to, keeps you from, or the children, keeps you from honoring yourself. So, you don't have to leave, but you have to know that you are not leaving, and that's a betrayal of the self. So don't bemoan that somebody else is hurting you, somebody else is abusing you, because you have also enacted great violence against your own truth. And knowing that is sobering, but it is part of your radical awakening. So transformation requires a great death of the old form. It really does. And it's, you piss in your pants, terrified, okay? I get it. I've had to transform several times in my life, like big, major transformations. And it's bloody nerve-wracking. However, when you are truly true to yourself and you know that the present situation is unpalatable, indigestible, not okay, then if you're truly living in authenticity, you say, okay, I don't know tomorrow, but I know my today is really sucky yucky. I got to transform. This is how we have to live life. We cannot be like, my situation is sucky yucky, I hate it, and I'm just going to be miserable in it. At least stay in it, but be okay. That is like level 1 transformation. Is, okay, I'm going to let go of my griping and moaning and whining. I'm just going to be okay, knowing it's not okay, but I have to be here for right now, so I'm going to be okay with that. Level 1. Level 2 is, no, I'm not okay, and I'm not okay staying here. Now I need to do something about it, right? I need to let go of something. You know, so many times I'll talk to women in unhappy relationships and I'll be like, okay, we got to transform. Are you ready to die onto your old self? Are you ready to let go? And they're like, no, I really like the house. Okay, then let's be happy in the house, yes? Oh, but I really don't like him. Okay, then are we ready to leave? No, I really like the swimming pool, you know. I don't think I could live in a 1-bedroom house. Okay, that means you like the house more than you don't like him. Then love the house. Have parties every day. Like, enjoy the house and the pool. When is the last time you went in the pool? They're like, it's too cold, right? So it's all bullshit, you know? Come on. Let's get real with ourselves. Do you want to transform and die to your old self or no? There is no change without death, okay? Our cells change by dying. You change from teenager to adult by dying, okay? There's death every day. But we don't see it like that because we have an illusion of control. Then the pandemic comes and we're all like, oh my God, when will life go back to normal? It was never normal. Like Trevor Noah's tour is called Back to Abnormal. I love it. Yeah, back to abnormal. Let's go back to abnormal. You want to go back to abnormal? I can't wait to go back to abnormal. He's so correct. It was bloody abnormal in the first place. But anyway, so if you find yourself repeating, I need to change, I need to change, I need to change. Replace that with, am I ready to die? Am I ready to die? Am I ready to die? Am I ready to let go of my form? Am I ready to let go of something? There is no new without a letting go. There is no new without pain. There is no new without release of the old. I mean, there is only so much room. So if you want to buy a new car, you got to get rid of the old car, right? It's just simple. Unless you want to have a junkyard. So part of change is to intentionally transform. And to transform, it has to be transformed. Something has to happen to form. So if you're sitting on your couch and thinking, oh, I really need to change, I really need to change, I really need to change, then stop your chatter and go, wait. I'm talking a lot. My mind is really busy. But call yourself on it. Hey, you've been talking a lot about change, but do you really want to transform? Do you really want to let go? Do you really want to release and die onto your old self? That should shut you up or get you off the couch. One of the two. So, typically, we don't change even a little bit until we are beaten, bruised, on the floor. That is what I call rock bottom. So as a therapist, I'm always waiting for rock bottom because I know we are creatures of inertia. Nothing bloody changes us. Nothing. Until our ego is at rock bottom. It's the ego that's at rock bottom. That's why children are so amazing. That's why the rebellious child is the best child. Because that child pulls the panties down of the parents and the underwear down like nobody else. And gets the parent to go, I need to do something new. All relationships do that to you. Right? They get you to rock bottom when they're ending or changing or transforming or shifting. And then you're at rock bottom. And I love rock bottom, but I know it's a bloody brutal place. It's a brutal underwater, in the gutter, claustrophobic. You're asphyxiating. You can't breathe. You're like, I'm going to just die here. Yes, you are. And that's a good thing. Because what is dying is not your body yet. It is just your ego. Which means just your false idea of who you were and who he was and who they were and who we were together, that is dying. That is dying. Your future is dying. Your attachment to your future fantasy, dying. Because you had all these ideas about who we were going to be in the future. Dying. And coming to terms with that end of the era or end of the chapter or end of the death or the death of the old is terrifying. This can happen just in terms of you and your own body. This is not just about relationships. It can be about the relationship with yourself. You're so attached to who you are in terms of your body image, you literally can stay the same. And that attachment to your old, unhealthy, or overweight, or whatever self can become a new relationship. I've seen people who cannot change their health because they're so attached to their relationship, to their body being the way it was, right? So the idea of a new body or a healthy body is inconceivable, unfathomable, because it's very scary. But if we don't allow the transformation with grace, with beauty, without blame, without anger, you can call people on it and go, hey, I'm transforming because you are X, Y, and Z to me, and that needs to stop. That's not blame. That's just like, it is what it is. But you're not holding on to resentment because you're not under the delusion that the other person was the only person at fault. There was also you in the dynamic. And this is not about fault anyway. It is about acceptance of accountability and responsibility. So rock bottom is the place where you are in the greatest pain. Why? Because none of your damn egoic defenses work. Right? You thought your kid would be this way, but your kid is just not following. You thought your marriage would be this way, it's just not abiding. You thought your partner would be this way, just not working out. Damn it! You tried this, you tried that, you tried this. It's not working. So when that happens, what that wakes you up to is that A, your ego has run out of tricks. It was not authentic. B, it was not authentic. So whatever it is meant to break. You know, look at that Buddha over there. You see my finger right there? I keep it in my room. It's broken. My daughter graced me with some of her weight on the other side of the wall, so it bumped and broke. Of course, it wasn't her fault. It's never her fault. Anyway, she broke it. And I first had resistance. Like, Maya, hello, you broke my Buddha. And she was like, no, I didn't. I just slammed against the wall. I didn't break anything. Okay, no point engaging with a teenager, ever. So when the Buddha broke, I was going to throw it out. And then I realized, oh, wow, Shefali, you can't tolerate any imperfection? Look at you. And I keep it there to remind me that imperfection is part of life, right? Rock bottom is part of life. Pain is part of life. The glass is already broken. The Buddha was already broken. It was just waiting for a body to slam into it. What this means, and I have another video on that in my Instagram with the light bulb, if you see it. What that means is like life is already broken. The conditions for the final dissolution haven't yet just occurred. So in Buddhism, they always say the glass is already broken. And if you understand how profound that is, you will release all your attachments to your past. You'll just be ready to enter the new. If you understand that from birth, you've already been dying, from the moment you were born, you've been dying. So if you've already been dying, what are you holding on to? The illusion that you have not been dying. So this is how you have to move through life. So I'm going to stop right now because in the moment somebody's bothering the other people by his toxically masculine comments. And what I would encourage the women to do is ignore him. Sometimes I too fall prey and I give them attention. But I would say just ignore him. Okay? Ignore him and then maybe I'll just take him out of the chat later. But don't let him get to you, right? He's just of another level of consciousness that wants attention. And I have fallen prey to it and given a lot of attention. You may think I'm giving attention now. But no, I'm telling you, don't give him attention. Don't. We are too much in our sovereign power to pay attention to lower levels of consciousness. So learn where you give your energy and move on, right? It is distracting. It is a bother, but this is life. It's full of jerks and assholes. So it is here. We learn to just go, nothing to do with me. As long as Dr. Shefali is okay, I'm just going to absorb the lessons and move on. He knows he's being a jerk and an asshole. He totally 1,025,000,000% knows that he's being a total jerk and an asshole. We're talking about my book, A Radical Awakening. So, hitting rock bottom is your opportunity to die onto your old self, to die onto your ego. So the question is, are you going to take it? Or are you going to bullshit yourself and go back and regress into an old pattern of stagnation, paralysis, and ambivalence? You are infinitely capable of moving on. Do you know in one lifetime you can have several lifetimes? It's really weird, but you can have several lifetimes. People die, relationships die, things die, our children grow up, and it's the beginning of a new era. And if we keep clinging to the old, we don't embrace the new. Right? My daughter goes to college very soon, in like 30 days. And if I keep clinging on to, the mother I used to be and the child she used to be, I'm insane because I'm not in the present moment. The present moment requires a transformation, which means the form must change. So any resistance to that is clinging to a fantasy of what you thought it should be. You're clinging to your ideas for the future. You're clinging to something that does not exist in the present moment. So waking up to that is the radical awakening. It is the radical awakening. So there is no change that does not include a transformation. However, change is always happening. So whether you like it or not, you're going to change. But you don't want to change because it's just happening. You want to transform. You want to consciously transform. And conscious transformation takes a true understanding of release, of death, of shedding, of letting go. This is part of life. But what awaits you is something that you cannot even fathom because you haven't met her yet or you haven't met him yet. Is a new you. Once you are without that old baggage, you don't know who you're going to be. So don't talk about, okay, okay, Dr. Shefali, I'll shed my baggage, then what? How do I know then what? You don't know then what. Come to me when it is the then what, right? Come to me in the then, okay? Because when you are in the then, the act of shedding creates the new you. The new you doesn't come after the shedding. The act of shedding creates the new you. You understand? It is the act of the release from which the new self burgeons. It is not, okay, I will first shed on Monday. And then on Tuesday, I'll start a new you. No, the new you starts already when you turn your consciousness to the act of transformation. It's already burgeoning the new you. The process is the outcome. There is no outcome after process because process never ends. So it is in the process that is the outcome. Honor the process. That's all we have in life. The process never freaking ends. There is no end and there is no beginning. There is no end and there is no beginning. Only constant process of transformation. We are constantly transforming creatures. Maybe to bacteria and fungus and cow dung. But we are transforming. Okay? We are constantly transforming creatures. So in the process is the outcome. Remember that. When that broke, understand in the breaking was the awareness that it was already broken. Everything is already in whatever it is. Nothing is just like, now he was so mean to me. No, it was already happening. It was already breaking. You just weren't aware of it. You just weren't seeing that in that mirror, in that mirror, for example, that looks all perfect. No, it's the conditions for its cracking haven't yet occurred. But the potential for its cracking is already inherent. So if you want life, the potential for your death is already inherent in you. It is inside you. From the minute you were born, you are dying. So what are you afraid of? What are you afraid of? You're afraid of losing your mental attachments. Okay, everyone, I will see you when I see you.